Hi, Pretentious Writer here. So nowadays, when it comes to TV, I think we've grown to have three types of TV shows. The first one is the ones that start very strong, and then as the season goes along, it kind of fizzles out and loses energy. The graveyard of canceled TV shows is filled to the brim with stuff like that. The second type of TV shows are the opposite one, the ones that start very slow, and then as the season goes along, it kind of picks up energy, it picks up steam, and gets better and better with each episode. This is not exactly a bad thing, because some of the greatest TV shows of all time, like The Wire or Breaking Bad, kind of follow the same pattern, and look where they are now. And finally, we have the third type of TV show, the ones that are basically a roller coaster. It gets good and then it gets bad and then it has some high highs and some low lows. It's unpredictable, you never know where it's gonna go, and it can end both ways. The graveyard of canceled TV shows also has a lot of stuff like that. But, sometimes a fourth type comes along. The TV show that starts right up there, episode 1, really strong, and it keeps the level from beginning to end. These type of TV shows, these very rare occurrences, they do not fuck around. They grab you by the balls like right on episode 1 and just drag you for one hell of a ride from start to finish. They are an incredibly selective and unique club. I can think of like 3 or 4 TV shows I've watched in my entire life that kind of fit this mold. And now in 2022, another show has joined their ranks. Apple's TV Severance. Now, you might be looking at my thumbnail and wondering, well, this motherfucker's most famous videos were about TV shows and talking about best of the year material. He's trying that a third time. Please, I promise you this is just a big coincidence because I do not say these things lightly. I don't try to be hyperbolic unless I really believe in what I'm saying. So trust me when I say that Severance is the best show of the year so far. It's also gonna be one of the best shows of 2022, and when I say best, I'm talking about top 5, top 3 material. And third and most important, it's one of the best seasons I've ever watched in my entire life. And for some reason, it hasn't caught up with the general public. I don't know why. I think it will. I think it's already getting there, but so far it hasn't. And I want to change this landscape, even if it's just a little. So give me a chance and hear me out on why you should definitely watch Severance. Severance tells the story of a group of employees in Lumon Industries, a company that works in something, which is interesting because that's actually one of the big mysteries of the show. But never mind that, because the catch here is who the employees are. Part of the Severance initiative in Lumon, they've had their brains implanted with microchips, which in turn allows them to literally sever their memories and split them into two, the social ones and the work ones. That means that, for example, Mark, who's our protagonist, essentially has two versions of him. When he comes to work and steps inside his office, he becomes Work Mark. And then when he leaves work, he becomes his outside self again. They even have a nickname. The workers are known as innies, since they stay inside and never leave their office. And the social ones are known as outies, for, as you imagine, outside. Pretty weird, but once again, this is a very weird universe, so it fits. At their core, the two versions are the same, but in the details they are very different people. And the same is true for everyone in our main cast. And there lies the big hook of the show. Now, if you hear this synopsis and think this is all about seeing what work would be, how they would deal with different aspects of their life, the moral implications of this weird experiment, well, you would not be wrong. In a lot of ways, it is about that. The first 3 episodes especially spend a lot of time just asking and answering questions. But this show goes way beyond that, which connects to my first praise, which is the plot. Because this bizarre procedure, known as severance, sounds suspicious and filled with moral dilemmas, it would not be surprising if the company itself wasn't at least a bit shady. Well, they are, and holy moly, this show knows how to go there. Because you and everyone else are unaware of what exactly they're doing there, we're given this mystery that slowly unfolds on both fronts, inside and outside. On the outside, you have Mark not only dealing with his personal pains, but being thrust into an investigation he never asked for, as a very sketchy figure shows up in his life and reveals some very distressing information. Information that pushes him down into one heck of a rabbit hole. Meanwhile, inside the company, Mark and his colleagues, triggered by the arrival of newbie Hallie R, start to ask questions. Why aren't they allowed to fraternize? Why are they forbidden to know and meet up with other divisions? And most of all, what the hell are they doing there? And there is good reason for that, because man, Lumon is fucking weird. To say the customs of the company are bizarre would be understatement of the year, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but the less said about break rooms and waffle parties, the better. Their boss and their superior are creepy as hell, and every word they say, be as positive as it may seem, sounds like a thinly veiled threat. There's a pocket universe inside those bright, cold walls, and just like the characters, you're dying to get to know more of it. Now, the way these two plots interconnect and cross over each other is downright brilliant. I cannot spare words to describe how the writing of this show is pitch perfect. Throughout the 9 episodes, not a single one bored me or made me go, this episode was kinda weaker than the rest. Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember the last time this happened. Every episode here feels meaningful, not an ounce of filler, fat, or useless subplots. Every story beat has a purpose here, nothing is left to chance. I'm pretty aware some people are not gonna agree with me on that, and may think the first 2 or 3 episodes drag a little bit, but for those people, I promise you, unless you found nothing in this universe that interested you by then, trust me, there is payoff and things get crazier and crazier as they go along. However, when the show is not moving the multi-layered plotlines forward, it's using time to develop its colorful cast. And man, talk about one incredible cast. Even with the show having a clear protagonist in Mark, this plays like a true ensemble at times, because everyone is given just great arcs throughout the entire run. It feels like a show that truly cares about not only its characters, but the cast of actors as well, and wants to give each one a moment to shine. Adam Scott always felt like that guy, the third wheel in every movie he's been to. And it's so awesome to see a role that actually subverts his typecasting and gives him real meat to chew on. Inside Mark is a man who tries to do his best, help everyone around him and be the anchor of the team. While outside Mark is aloof, messy, and slowly imploding from the inside. It's incredibly alluring to see Scott play the subtle differences between these versions of Mark, and especially a joy to watch him switch from one another. But he's not the only one. John Turturro is once again reminding me what a beast of an actor he is. His character has one of the biggest arcs of the season, and even when you feel like you understood how the man operates, the show pulls the rug from your feet and reveals there's even more about him. And Turturro plays every one of these beats to perfection. Britt LOWER, a true revelation. Her Hallie is in many ways a co-lead, the walk-in inciting incident of the show. Angry, completely chaotic, and just wanting to tear the whole place down when you first meet her. Not only she is a lot, but she also does a lot and goes through a lot of development. And it's charming to see her slowly warming up to Mark and everyone else. Finally, Zach Cherry, who is another amazing revelation. In the beginning he feels like the stock annoying workmate, and then midway through the show throws a wrench and we get to see a different side of him. Like, I could go here all day long talking about this cast. Patricia Arquette is deliciously crazy and seems to be having a ton of fun with this role. Tremel Tillman is another revelation as the slimy, creepy-ass superior our protagonists are forced to contend with. And Christopher Walken is in his best role in a damn long time. But my point is, this is an ensemble with capital E. There's not a single bad note here, every character has a lot more than they initially give in, and everyone is delivering and making the most out of it. Finally, the third big praise I gotta give this show is regarding the technical aspects. The production design is absolutely flawless. Never have I seen empty wide hallways feel so claustrophobic, scary and borderline nauseating at times. Every room has a personality, even when they are all going for this dry and minimalistic style. And the directing, my god the directing. The framing and composition in some of these scenes are a complete delight to watch. I mean, who would have thought that Ben Stiller out of all people could direct like a motherfucker? Also, the cinematography is just gorgeous. There's a distinct style for the outside and the inside. From the camera work to the lighting, that is incredible but never feels overbearing. You're never going from one place to the other and wondering, oh wow, the cinematography here looks so different from before. No, it feels seamless and well interwoven. As I said, technically, this show is immaculate. I mean, heck, even the intro is so well thought out and communicates the energy of the show so perfectly, to the point that if you're watching this and still wondering if you should check this show or not, just watch the intro on YouTube and see if it vibes with you, cause it certainly did vibe with me. Also, one last thing, I have to praise the score. The music by Theodore Shapiro, a guy primarily known for scoring romantic comedies, just kicks down whatever preconceptions you may still have about music and TV shows and knocks it out of the park, taking huge cues from paranoid thrillers from the 70s like All the President's Men, Clute, and especially The Conversation. The music is a mix of piano and orchestra, gorgeous, complex, but always feeling off, like it's trying to keep you unsettled, uncomfortable. And considering the tone and setting of the show, it is right at home and Shapiro does a brilliant job. Succession and Mr. Robot were probably the last shows that I remember the music blowing my mind this much. Now, to cap it all off, if you're talking about possible problems or issues, I have to admit, I can't think of a single one that I had with the show, at least not now. I'm struggling to even think of nitpicks. Like, there is none for me, seriously. Every time I thought the show would resort to a certain cliché, it just didn't. I really don't know how they did it. I finished season 1 and wanted season 2 immediately. The show has so much mileage, so much stuff to uncover yet, and I feel very hopeful for its future. If that doesn't sound like the highest praise possible, I don't know what will be. So please, give the show a chance. If you're into thriller or smart and brainy sci-fi, or even if you're just into existential stories about humanity, the mind, conscience, I have zero doubt you're gonna binge the shit out of this. I can see the show getting more and more buzz as the year goes along, and reaching Succession levels of popularity by the end of 2022. Hopefully, I'm just a little bit ahead when I tell you that you should, without a doubt, watch Severance, already one of the best shows of the year. This is The Pretentious Writer. See you next time.